All right, cool, cool, cool. Hey guys, Merry Christmas, almost Christmas Eve. Sean, thanks for joining. Anyone else has any questions, just put them in the chat on the side. Don't need a mic or anything like that, but thanks for joining. Like I said, I'll just make this a quick one because it is Christmas Eve. Just to review what happened today, just because there wasn't much volume and pretty much everything just sold off because everyone's liquidating their position before Christmas. So first we'll look at our good friend here, natural gas. Not sure what's going on here. Interesting how this chart is looking already. But I guess we'll go back to my normal one. So we'll look at the SPY here really quick first off, just because that was pretty crazy move today. Obviously on the daily, we are pretty down. So I know silver was calling out that 2358 level here. I had a few levels marked off, and I'll show you exactly how I got them. I wasn't expecting us to hit those, but they're from back here. So what you do is just drag yourself over. I mean, it's just normal support resistance. So I like to do candle wicks and bodies, either one or the other. Right here's a wick, so this is where it came all the way down, and then buyer said that's a good deal, bringing it up. It did that here, and it was in a consolidation area. So this was definitely a major area here, as you see. It just had a bouncing spot there and over in this area, so that's why I put this line here. If you were to look at the next one, if it broke that, it would come down to, I mean, these are just little areas too, right there. See how it touched there. And then you would just break it down again. But I mean, those aren't major areas. Another major area would be these gaps as well. You see how there's a gap there? Boom. Another area is right there, 20. Hopefully we don't hit that. But if we do, we'll bounce there. Or at least we should. I mean, on a technical standpoint. So that's almost like a zone right there. That's a buy zone right there. Once it comes down to here, that's when I would enter in my full position and have a stop loss right below there. And then you can always enter in down here. But that's a pretty strong area. Pretty strong area for sure, actually. But looking at today's, where silver got that 24 or 2380 something was this gap fill right here. And gaps always fill. And when they do revisit, they revisit and usually bounce. So he was saying 23, I think he was saying 2358 right there was where this candle closed. And you can see it also is in a major area in this entire zone. So that's where he got that right here. Just another area. I actually had mine at 2354, mainly because of these wicks over here. And they just look like I mean, it's so close. That's a tough area there. But I'm looking at it for today and see what happened in those areas. Obviously, we know it's sold. There was no buying power at all. If you bought this, you lost. It came up, it opened up last night, and it did come up. It gapped down, then it came up, and then this morning it just sold off. And the reason why was because, like I said, there was no buyers at all. So look at these areas. These are the areas I plotted out from the other day, major areas. I was also doing a Fibonacci retracement over here when we bounced here to come up to this 382. It got pretty close, as you see, came up, but it just, every rip, you might as well sell because it didn't even really retrace. It did not retrace at all. It was just constant selling, and we still haven't even found a bottom yet. So if you look at maybe with the 5 minutes, it did, well, I guess not really. It didn't really respect that support at all. It kind of bounced there, but then as you see, it got to here. This is the 1 minute. Don't ever do this. But it did come up, and then it just sold right off. So it kind of respected it, but not really. It just was pure selling pressure. Came down to this area here. This was my other one, 2344, and you see how it touched there and then came all the way up. But then at the end of the day, and this is after market close, it just sold the rest off because people liquidated their positions. So that's why these are not supported at all. It was really tough to play any sort of long position because of the time of the year it is. So that is why that kind of sold off there. It just didn't respect this at all. Everyone's selling. Everyone's kind of freaking out. So yeah, if we were to retrace, man, we bring this Fibonacci down again. We haven't even really retraced enough at all. If it wants to do that. Oh, what's going on? Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Of course. And this is just to give a guideline. So if it did bounce here over the net, it hasn't even found a bottom yet. That's the problem. So I can't even. If we were going to retrace it there, it would come up to the 2400 area would be where it retraces. I was playing this little bounce here, like I was saying earlier, as a mini on a 15-minute, because you can do that. It's just not as accurate. And like I said, didn't really do much here. Got to this spot, came up. This is actually at 9 moving average. It didn't even come up to the 21. Usually on this spots, once it gets farther away from that, it wants to retrace back up to this. So we should see a retracement at least up to the 21 for the SPY. I don't mean to go too much into that, but it was just obviously everyone's worried about the market right now, and if you're playing the SPY like silver, that is where I foresee it. But still no bottom, so I mean you're kind of trying to catch a falling knife right now. All right, now looking at what I like to play, natural gas. This is the 1 hour. You can be playing the 1 hours. 4 hours is more swing, but I've been more day trading this because of the volatility. So as you see all these spots here, so where we were looking was I was in Dgaz the other day, and I did average down once we got out to here. And this mark, I got this mark just because it's topped out there many times. That's all I got that mark. When it comes up to this area, I usually buy, and then I have a stop loss right above here at this pivot. If it hits there, I'm out. And if it goes up here, then I'm in again. And you know, the cycle continues. But Dgaz is the play. I'm not even touching Ugaz. I did touch it today at the end. And the reason why was because I saw this strong bounce right here. And we were really close to my zone here. So I entered in a position like I was going to stop out 1% down from here. So I entered this position really small, like my stop loss was right here. And if we broke below here, I was out. But we didn't. We came back up, and then it was the end of the day, and I sold. I didn't know what was going to happen. Obviously, it sold off, so Dgaz was the play. If you wanted to hold anything, you could hold Dgaz. I did sell my position because we are at the bottom of this, and this is a bounce area, and I don't foresee what's going to happen. The market's selling off, so the hedge fund managers could put their money in natural gas. I see natural gas going down to 3.2. So once it gets below this, we are headed down, and the trend is down. And we can take a look at the, let's see here. There we go. Woo! So where did I get? So right here's the bottom in the 4 hour, like we were saying. If we were to go anything, it would be Ugaz, but I wouldn't be playing Ugaz, so I'd just be waiting for a pullback up to here and enter Dgaz again. But let's see here. That's a major zone there. So the reason I say 3.2, we'll do a little lesson because I guess I'm not the best at explaining this. That's a pretty major area here. We have this gap to fill right here. Okay, so that's why this is coming next. This might even open up here. So that is where it closed. So that's a gap. That's a gap that needs to be filled. So that would be my next area. 3.2 is where natural gas would be headed to. If we look further back, even let's see here, and that gap was huge. All right, so that's where it comes across here. It also got rejected over here a few times. So honestly, you could have it. Yeah, it's going to come there next, and it should bounce on that zone because that is a gap fill, and it has to fill that. It just depends on how long. So once it gets there, you'll probably see a dead cap bounce, and then a continual sell-off. And then we might just be trailing sideways like we've been for the longest time before all this volatility happened. The contracts will change for the time of year. So just be aware of that as well. Obviously, it'll be accounting for the future or the futures when you buy Ugaz and Dgaz. So once we get down to that, it's tough to say, but we'll definitely bounce there. And yeah, I would be taking profits for Dgaz there and see what happens in regards to that. The rest of the year should be a Dgaz play until February, hence why silver is holding it. So after that, it would be down in this area here because it has touched there numerous times as well. 1, 2, 3. You see all this, how it kind of consolidates sideways, so that's a little frustrating. That's why natural gas has been so much nicer to play now because of the volatility. So these are all just areas where it has bounced before, and history tends to repeat itself. So be kind of in that old area right over here. So we'll see. I'm counting. I'm kind of going too far ahead of myself, but if natural gas sells off, the 3.2 is where I'd be taking profits for Dgaz, whatever that consolidates or whatever that is. So Dgaz would be the nice one to hold. I might actually buy shares after hours just to hold it, but yeah, that's if you're in Dgaz, I would hold it. I mean, there's no reason. It has bounced here before, but it's a tough call. I mean, the trend is down, so the trend is your friend. Go with the trend. Too much time on that, but just spend pretty easy to play. So I made like a $600 today off that. It was a nice hedge against the market. Looking at gold, man, this is just frustrating because it's not following a trend. It is just buying off of fear. It is following a trend technically because we are on a continuous uptrend. I did not expect to just keep going, but the market just kept selling off. So people just put their money in gold. And if we were to not even care about this, and you know what we're going to do? This is ridiculous because this isn't going to help anyone learn anything. Boom, gone. Don't care. So where are we? 1272. So let's look over. So just so I have an idea of where we are, 1272. So let's look back here, and this will help us figure out what's going to happen. Obviously, the trend is up for gold. I foresee us pulling back, but you know, the trend is your friend, so don't go against it. Gold is strong. The USD is coming down. We'll check that out in a minute as well because I haven't played Forex, and that's been a little confusing as well, mainly because so many people playing it. So we're at 1273. So just to have an idea of where we are. So these are some areas that we just need to take an account for. Right there would be a support. And the reason I do that is because these are candles and wicks, but it never really closed above this for the longest time there. Right here would be an actual zone because that's like a wick. And back here as well, as you see how it continues over. So that would be an actual buy zone. Once it comes into this, you buy it back up. That's more of a major spot because it touched there many times. See how it touched over here as well? So that's why that's a zone and that's not. That's just a support. A zone is just a larger support area where it tends to bounce. So you can enter in here and then average down to here, put full position here, stop loss here. That is what I do. It works for me. Right over here was another area. And here's another one. So it just came up to here and got rejected. And it was bouncing on this spot for a while. You can almost make that a zone, actually. Yeah, you could. That's a zone. See how it's just kind of just playing around there, but it never really broke above it. And then if we go up higher, the 1295, let's go back further. I have no idea where we are right now. I know we're in that 1270 range, but I don't pay attention to that because then I'm biased on this. So this is 100% not looking at. Just want to make sure we're putting these areas in the right place for now. Right there, see how top, right there, and this would be more of. This is where it just went sideways. It's interesting. There. Yeah, like that's not really directional. It's just consolidation sideways. So really, yeah, I don't like that. That's not very directional. Kind of just moving sideways, which I wouldn't play this if it was just doing this again. It's just kind of annoying. Unless it came down to here, this is where I'd buy. Obviously, this is where I'd buy. So that'd be another buy zone right here. And sell zone would be up here. So let's see where that is right now for all of you that want to see where it'd be now. Now it looks a lot cleaner. All right, now we're going to come over here. And right now, technically, we're in the take profit for gold. It did come up to here and pull back. Nothing crazy, but then it came down to this old support or this new support. And then now it's our old resistance, new support, and it's just staircasing up. So if you were to go against this, you're kind of shooting yourself in the butt. If I was in gold, I would take profit right now personally, because we are pretty straight up. It would be nice to see a pullback like we did here. That's really nice. Another pullback down to probably this area here, the 1268. That would be nice. And if you wanted to enter in goals, you could do that. You could enter in gold at the 1268, but that's still probably just keep a tight stop on it, or play with the position size you're okay with. But it is trending up. It is not pulling back as of this moment. So for all those in gold, congratulations. The trend is up because the market is down. So look for a pullback into gold. The trend is your friend. And after it reaches that, we're going to head up to the 1295. 1293 to 1295 is your next take profit zone, because that's the next major area. We probably will see a bump right here, because it did come up here and kind of just get rejected. So that will be another spot where it just comes up, touches it, pulls back a little, which is going to be, why isn't that showing me that? It's so hard to read that. Which will be the 1285. 1285 to 1287, then it's going to come up to 12. So these are the areas. 1285 is the next one coming up. It could go all the way up to 13 though. So wait for a pullback and go long on gold, because that is what everyone's putting their money in. All right, and I'm making this a little longer just to help you guys out if you do need help with this. Let me check here if anyone's got questions or anything right now. Nope. All right, cool. So next, we're looking at crude oil. This thing is a falling knife. Here were the areas. It's just not respecting any of them at all. Obviously, it respected this one quite well, and it just consolidated here, and it did its normal thing and just came right back down, kind of like let the indicators catch up when it goes sideways, and then just sold right back off. Right now, we did touch my next one. Wow, I cannot believe we hit this today. So this was my old area here where, look at that, just came into here and came right out. I still wouldn't go. I'm in UWT, but I'm still not averaging down yet. I entered in too early. I entered in up here, then it broke. I should have cut it right here. That would have been silly. I'm only in 80 shares, which is not very many. So right here is my next buy one. And as you see, it came in here, but came up, but it's not looking too strong right now. So hold off on that. It needs to come up to here. It needs to come down from this zone, the 42. It needs to come up to the 44 and then get rejected, bounce, and then continue up, as we all know. As of right now, the reason I got this area here, the 42 to 48, was a past, just like I did before. I won't go into it, but that is my next area for all those looking at crude oil. That was a while ago when I touched that, but we'll look at drip, because that thing is probably to the moon. I believe so. I believe so. S&P is at 2344, so it's still going down after hours. Awesome. Look at that, man. Hey, there it is. There it is on my other chart. I have different charts, but this one looks a little cleaner. And maybe you can actually be easier to find on this one. I had that area. Look at that. That's cool. 42.43. Where did I get that from over here? 42.43. That's where we are. Oh, I got to hit this button. 42.43 for crude oil. Looking at it over here, I got this red support here. Why did I get that? Right here, rejection down. That's where it was. A little bounce area here. It's almost like a little zone. It could be a zone. Why didn't I make it a zone? I wonder if there's anything in back here that would help me out. Whoops, that one. Why didn't I make it? Oh, right here. So it came up, got rejected there. Got rejected there. Became a support. Man, how did I hit that so perfect, though, is what I'm questioning. I just kind of put it in a general area of where it seemed to top off. So that's how I got that. And you could even make that a zone if you wanted to. But the reason I didn't was because of this area here. It just kind of just broke that. It just touched there. So that's just a touch, and that's why it just touched there, and that's why it looks so red, because it did touch there perfect, and it is bouncing. That don't look like a strong bounce to me, though. I'll be honest. That is going to just come. That might come out to here if we're lucky. I mean, we could do a Fibonacci retracement, but yeah, it's going back down. Man, that's cool, though, how I just touched there from old support. So you saw how I got that really quick. Gold is still rising. That's cool. I'm not in it, but I made money shorting it the other day. All right, drip. Holy cow. Don't, wow, that's nuts. 14%. This thing is up like 200% over the last freaking month. It's probably up 60% over this week, honestly. These are the old areas when I was playing it. Momentum suck. Hello. Wow, that's incredible. 14% today. Congratulations on that. I'm not even going to look at Gush because it's a waste of time, but that thing is straight up for all those bag holding back here when you lost all your money. Wow. Phew. Tough call on that. Where are we? Wow, that is just crazy. I'm just trying to see where. I guess we'll look back here. When was the last time it was this much? Obviously, it's tough when it's a decaying ETF. So right here was the old area where it topped off at. It's where it peaked. That area. And this area. Right there. Is it touch there, bottom out? Okay. So where is that? 28. Then right here is just a support, nothing crazy. If you wanted to do candle bodies, you could make. No, I wouldn't make that a zone because it's just didn't really respect it that much there. Because I like when I make a zone, I make it so when it goes in the zone that you buy it in that area and then it comes out. But this is just where it kind of tattled around. So right there's another support because it came down to here. Never closed above there here. So that is why that's just another support there. If you want to make it a mini zone, you can, but I don't like to do that unless I'm positive on it. And let's see where it is today. Just blew through that. Coming up to the 25, I wouldn't enter this. Obviously, I wouldn't enter this, but $25, $26 is your next. That's a whole dollar resistance. So you're going to probably see at least a pullback there. It's just gapping up though. That thing is just momentum as ever. Did it even? No, it just blew right through it. Just blew right through that. Came down and possibly tried the bounce there in that area. Yeah. Not really. I guess just enter it when it pulls back and then go with it, just like the market. What else do we have? Crude oil, natural gas. I'll look at this one, Tesla, because a lot of people were asking me about this. My friends who like to play Tesla for some reason, they like it. This thing's selling off like it should be. We're at the $300 mark. We broke the $300 mark. Did we bounce on it? That's a psychological level. So did we? No, bounce. That's on a 4-hour. I might have just bounced there. Well, now that we're at the 295, let's look back here at where Tesla would be for those who like Tesla. All right, this is a pretty major one. That's a nice one. That's pretty good. See how it just came up to there? So 281 to 283 is your next time you would touch Tesla. Don't touch it though. It's really not doing much. Why did it bounce at 295? Where are we? 295 is right there. Why did it bounce there? Now, see, looking back a little bit, this thing's kind of came up. It's been trending up so long, it's kind of annoying. So there's 305. That's another spot that I can mark off for all you guys playing that area. Let's see. Be like a mini spot right there for when it bounces. It's if when it comes up, it's going to get rejected at the 305 and then continue down. But I want to see why 295. Okay, so that's why right here. All this consolidation here makes this an actual. That's what I mean by a zone. You see how it just moves sideways? That turns it into a zone, a little larger. But you see how it figures itself out, and then once it breaks in it, that's now the general direction. And as it goes down, it breaks that. So as you see, it broke that and just didn't even respect it after that. So that's why that bounced at that area there in this box. So hopefully if we break above this and we continue to trend up, I don't see it because Tesla's piece of crap. And no, just kidding. Tesla's a good car company. I like their cars; they're cool, but the stock doesn't make money. And it just destroyed this spot. So anyone that was playing these old areas here, good luck. Oh man. So I see Tesla going down to 280 before we have a bounce. To be honest with you, I think this is nothing. That's just a sell off. We're going down to the 280 before I touch it. I'm not touching it before that 280, and then possibly down to the 260. So 280 is where you'll probably see some sort of life in Tesla because people will be like, oh, I'm gonna buy it, hold it forever. Be a few people that probably buy that. Other than that, the last one I look at is LABU. Oops, LABU. And not much life for that one. Yeah, nothing really to look at. Don't play it. Hasn't made any sort of moves at all. Yeah, it's just making lower lows and lower highs. So LABD would be the play. And of course, this is looking like drip in the 4 hours. So if you wanted to enter this, wait till it comes down to here and then let it bounce here and then write it up. But we are pretty overextended, so I wouldn't be playing this either personally. But the trend is your friend. If you want to scalp it, you can definitely do that. For those that don't have limited day trades, JNUG's a really popular one as well. You know, to this old support here. And it has not been here in a while, though. It's $8 mark. Just kind of hovering there. And the reason it came to here was this old spot right here. Didn't really pull back enough, though. Gold has just been trending up, like I said, and this doesn't follow it directly. So if you wanted more accuracy, GDXJ, that would be a better chart to chart your JNUG on, or even to play for those that hate decaying ETFs, because then you can actually for those that love bag holding, you can bag hold. I recommend not doing that. And this was an old consolidation, so it just bounced here, you know, to here, never really broke above that. That would be an actual zone right there because it never closed above that. So this is a sell area. And just touch there, touch there. That's what makes this a zone, is it never closed above it, and we just have wicks entering into it. So that's the difference ideally. And of course, right now, JNUG is in that sell territory. I still wouldn't enter it or hold it. I wouldn't go against it either. If you want, I would just wait till it pulls back. This is like a Dgaz, and then enter JNUG again. And when I would enter JNUG is when it pulls back, probably to this area here, to the when JDXJ enters 29.55. That'd be a nice pullback because that'd be an old high, old resistance, new support. So for those that play JNUG, whenever JDXJ comes to this 29.55, that's when I would enter JNUG. The reason it's hard to chart on JNUG right now is because it is a triple moving leverage ETF, so it decays. So it's really hard sometimes to chart that. Just like any sort of future UGAZ and DGAZ, you should be looking at natural gas. Usually JNUG and JDST is easier to chart on because it doesn't get too overextended, but when it did sell off over this last month, JNUG it'll never come back up. JNUG will never be $20 again for a long time, because up here, this is when it was, JNUG was, I believe, 14, 15, and then it hit 19, $20 right there, and then it came from, when it was down here, it was like $11, and then it came all the way down to like $5, and now it's just trending at this area here. So now we're at $8 again, and back here we were at $11. You see the difference there, or $10? It's a $2 difference, but that's significant. So not to make this video any long, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I don't see any, so hopefully that helped you guys out. It was a little longer than usual, but I wanted to actually give you guys a little bit of a learning curve on how I get these spots, how I played them today. If you want to see me trade live, pretty much these are my live areas. As soon as it comes back into these areas, this is where I'm selling my take profit, and this is where I'm buying. So I put limit orders, or I put alerts. I honestly have been putting alerts because of the volatility in the market. So not to make this video any longer, hope that helped you guys out a bit. I wanted to make it a little bit more thorough. Hope everyone has a great Christmas, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right, bye.